Hi everybody, it's me Tess with Tess Loves This Yarn. Hi guys, I hope everybody's having a good morning / day so far, depending on when you're watching this video, right? You guys, in my last video, I told you that Superman had broken my Knit Picks plastic ball winder, and to replace it, I decided to get this very nice wooden ball winder that I saw on Amazon because for one thing, I think it'll last a lot longer. And for another thing is I use a ball winder quite a bit. So because of that, I didn't feel like it cost $54, and I felt like the cost was worth it for the investment of having a good ball winder, that I don't have to worry about it being plastic and parts breaking. So yeah, and what I want to do today is I'm going to show you the ball winder in action along with my Amish made Swift that I also purchased on Amazon. And guys, I'm going to link these below. Oops, sorry about shaking the camera there. I'm just trying to get this all in the frame. Oops, there it goes again. So I'm going to turn my camera down. So everybody bear with me, okay? And I'm going to try to do it super slow so that it doesn't get anybody sick. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I get so sick with motion sickness. Like, I can't even ride in the back seat of a car. And sometimes when people do videos and they start flipping that camera around, I'm like, woo, woo. Know what I mean? So I'm going to go very slowly. So bear with me. Point the camera down and a little to my left so that you guys can see my setup. Okay, so here I go. If you want to close your eyes for a couple of seconds, go ahead and do that. I will not be offended. Okay, so here I go. Oops, wrong way. Wrong way. There we go. So this is my ball winder, and this is the Swift, and you can see that it's free moving here. I'm just going to try to get it in the picture a little bit better so to show you guys. But yeah, so it's just like it's what it is it's two big wooden, let's see how it's held together in the middle by this, if I can get it in the frame. This is not easy, you guys. So yeah, it's held together in the middle by this peg. It's very simple. It's a 2-arm construction. They're notched out and they just set inside of each other. And then this is the base right here. And once again, this just sets inside of here like that, and it's free spinning. So yeah, and this is called an Amish Swift. So that is the Swift that I have, and actually this is the first and only Swift that I have ever owned. I've never had anything different from this Swift. I've had it for years, and I absolutely love it. And believe it or not, Amazon still sells this. So I will link the Swift and the ball winder down below, because I think it's real important that if you guys are interested in one, with the cost involved in both of these items, I think it's important to actually, see it in action and then see what other people who use them often think about the items. So that's why I wanted to do this kind of a mini tutorial. I'm going to show you how I wind up my hanks of yarn. This is my new yarn bowl. I bought this at the second-hand shop. It's a big ceramic bowl. It was $4, and I bought it to be a yarn bowl. And it works great. So as you can see, here is a cake of yarn that I already caked up. I did this yesterday, and it is the pair to this. This is some Knit Crate yarn that I received, I think, a few months ago. Y'all know Knit Crate has closed its doors, unfortunately, especially for all of you who really loved it. I had a love-hate relationship with Knit Crate, and oh lordy lordy, I'm not going to go into it now, but if you know my backstory with Knit Crate, I tried breaking up with Knit Crate numerous times and it just wasn't working. But in the end, I'm glad I stuck with them until the end, because I did enjoy a lot of the yarn that came after the point that I had tried breaking up with them. So it all worked out. But anyway, the yarn we're going to wind is Uru yarn by Knit Crate. And the colorway is called Cucumber. And this yarn is 34% cotton, 35% linen, 19% lyocell, and 11% nylon. It is a lightweight yarn. It's a sport weight, which I believe is a number 3, DK3. It doesn't say that on here, but I believe sport weight is considered like a number 3 yarn. So as you can see, it's in a hank. And how you undo a hank is you simply untwist it, like so, and then pull that top fold out, and you'll see it comes undone. And voila, it's just then becomes like big loops of yarn, see? And so you want to go to the center of the yarn, which is usually pretty easy to find, and I've already found it. So you want to make this big circle fit onto your swift. So once again, I'm going to move the camera a little so you can see my swift here. And you see these pegs on the swift? What you do is you just drape your yarn over the pegs like so. You don't cut it apart or anything yet. You simply drape it over. And then you want to make sure that your yarn is all kind of going in the right order. And by right order, what I mean is that it's not all twisty on your jibbahicky thingamajig swift. Know what I mean? So yeah, you just want to make sure that it's on here and not all twisted up. So this looks pretty good. So we're going to call this good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to find these little strings that tie it all together, and you're just going to cut them like so. And then you're going to pull them out, and you might have to cut it in more than one spot. And then you're going to have, most likely, you'll come to the knot. That's usually always in a piece that's tied up. Now some people untie the knot. I just cut it off. You're not wasting that much yarn, maybe an inch or so at the most. So now these ends, you're just going to lay them back down for right now. Okay, because we're not done with the process yet. We need to find the label, which is right here. And I normally just kind of pull that apart and pull it off. And then there's usually at least one more tie, and that's right here. Now, some yarn companies will put more than 2 ties on their yarn. They'll put 3 and sometimes even 4. It just depends. I've ordered yarn before, hanks of wool, merino wool, that have come that had like 4 ties on them. Like a tie here, like a tie almost in every like corner. So yeah, you have to be careful to get all of those ties off. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take an end of your thread and you're going to loop it through your machine. And with this one, actually, I'm just going to go through the middle because for me that's easier. And just like this, and this is what is going to provide the tension on your yarn. And then, in order for you to see this a little better, I'm going to move the camera again, so bear with me, everybody. And I'll get it in place. There we go. And then on your ball winder, you'll see that there are 2 slits in the wood at the very top. You're going to take your end of your yarn and you're just going to put it right down into those little grooves or slits or whatever you want to call them. And then I'm going to move my Swift just a little bit away here. Okay. And you'll be able to kind of see the end of it, I think, going through the motion. But now this ball winder does have a foot at the bottom that hooks, that you can stabilize it and screw it up to meet the bottom of your table, so your ball winder's on the top, and then through the bottom there's like a wooden plank that has a screw and an L-shaped metal bar attached, and that's what holds it to your table. Super easy peasy. So with that said, I've got this all set. I've got my Swift ready there with the yarn on it, see? And now all you need to do is start turning the handle, which is right here. So I'm going to start doing that. Now some people like to hold their yarn. Sometimes I do, depending on the yarn, and sometimes I don't. And what I've really noticed with this ball winder, it has great tension, and so I really don't feel the need to hold the yarn with my hand. And you just simply keep turning. Now I do keep an eye on the Swift. You can kind of see the shadow in the corner there, the upper corner of the Swift going round and round and round. So as you turn the handle on the ball winder, it automatically turns your Swift. Oops, and you see how that snagged a little? And that'll happen once in a great while. Actually, it very seldom ever happens. So, of course, it had to happen as I'm filming this. You know that, right, y'all? So anyway, you just keep turning, and depending on how much yarn you have on your hank, you know, it'll take a couple of minutes to get your cake all nicely caked up. And in this situation, I think there's like over 300 yards of yarn in this hank. I think it's 335 yards of yarn is what I think it was. I could be wrong, but I don't think I read that out loud. But I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to keep turning the handle. And as you can tell, it's super easy to turn this, you guys. Y'all know I have bad shoulders. I've had both of them replaced. And my left one, you know, I fell and hurt that. So the left shoulder is really, really sore. But I've had my right shoulder replaced too, and I have no problems turning this wheel. No problems at all. It turns very, very easy. So I'm just gonna keep turning and turning. You guys, I have a lot of wool, like merino wool, superwash merino wool that I've gotten like at Knit Crate, and some I've ordered from like different companies, like Love Crafts. What's another one? Oh, I used to have a local yarn shop, which I absolutely adored, and I tried to give them most of my business when it came to buying yarn. Like any superwash merino wool or any high-end yarn, I always bought from them. I did not buy it online, just because I wanted to support my local yarn shop. And unfortunately, they did not survive COVID, so I was super, super sad about that. But I was able over the years to build up a pretty good stash of some really, really nice yarn. So I'm thankful that they were there for the time that they were. And yeah, I wish they were still there. But anyway, you guys, the yarn is almost finished. And so we're doing this in real time. I have not sped up this video at all. This is all real time. And oops, gonna stop my Swift now from spinning. And you can see that my yarn is just beautifully caked. Now this is the end, and what I do is I just kind of wrap it around, and then I just tuck the end under a couple of the strands, so it just holds it in place. Now, how I take it off, first of all, I'm going to trim up my tag just a tiny bit. Oh, this was 351 yards, you guys. So you saw how long it took to wind up a cake with 351 yards in it. It didn't take any time at all. It was like bam, bam, it was done. So that's awesome. But yeah, I like to trim the label up just a little bit. And then what I do is I take this label and I fold it in half, because you always want to save your labels when you ball up a hanked yarn, because otherwise you don't know, you may not get back to that yarn, especially if you're like me. It might be several months or even a year before you get back to that yarn, and you may not remember what it was if you don't save the label. So I save the label, I fold it like this, like I said. I just simply take the label, fold it in half, and then fold it in a quarter, and then I fold it lengthwise, like this, and I put it like right here in the opening where the wood is, and then all you do is you push the yarn off of the ball winder, just like this, and I make sure I pull that label up with it so that the label's in the middle. Whoop, it just fell out. But what happens, the yarn will expand around this label in the middle, and then it won't fall out. So it's already done it. So see, it's not going to fall out now. And you have your yarn beautifully caked. Look at that. Gorgeous. And it's a perfect cake of yarn. Absolutely perfect. And this is the other end. Remember how I told you I just put that end over here? So here's my other end. Now I will typically pull from the middle of a caked yarn. So I just leave that end tucked in. And I'm going to show you. Here's my other one that I did. So I've got two of these, and this one I held tension on with my hand, and it's a tighter ball or tighter cake. This one I did not hold tension on, and it's a little looser. So you can see the difference. Same yarn, same amount of yardage. It's just one, I held the yarn right here with my hand as it was coming off the Swift, and that was this one, and then this one I did not. And you can see how much bigger this one is. So you can put a little tension on that yarn if you want your ball of yarn or your cake of yarn to be a little tighter. It's totally up to you. I wouldn't put too much tension on it because yarn does stretch, and you really don't want to stretch your yarn out too much. So definitely fine to put tension on it, but don't make it too tight because that would wind up stretching your yarn too much, and that would be bad because it's going to get your gauge off. Because once you work that yarn up and wash it, it's going to go back to its original size, and your garment or your item that you knit or crochet may become too small at that point. So yeah, don't do that. Not too much tension. Little bit of tension, perfectly fine. You can make those balls a little bit tighter. It's not going to hurt them at all. Just don't do too much tension. And you'll know if you're doing too much tension because your balls are going to be really small. Okay? So don't do that. All right, everybody. This is my nice and short little video today on how to use an Amish Swift and a wooden ball winder. Actually, they have these, there's an Amish made ball winder too. I did not get that one because it was really a lot more expensive, and I have to operate on a budget. So, because of that, I did choose this one, which was at least half the price of the other one. And you guys, I have to tell you, I have wound several cakes of yarn on this now, and I am so in love with this. It is a really, really nice ball winder. It is listed for $59 at Amazon. Excuse me, at Amazon. But I believe there is like a coupon for like 10 or 15% off. So I know I got it for $54. That's what I paid, and that was with the tax. So they do add a little tax on with Amazon now. You know, years ago they never charged tax if you ordered online, but the tax department has changed that. Now you pay tax when you order online. So with tax, it was $54, almost $54 even Steven. So don't forget to, if you are interested in this, I'm going to leave the links below. And don't forget to click that little square that says apply coupon, because they don't automatically apply those coupons on Amazon. You have to click the link. Okay? So I'm just going to real quick move the camera back up to my face. Yes, here I am. Hi, everybody. So yeah, so I am in love with this ball winder, and I have to tell you, I have been in love with my Swift for many, many years. I have had, like I said, this was my very first and only Swift I've ever owned. So before that, I did everything by hand. Whew. Now that was a lot of work. Now, if you guys are finished rolling your hanks of yarn by hand, seriously, go check these tools out. They will make your life so much easier. And you guys, I have to give a shout out real quick here to J&B's mom for giving me a super thanks. I appreciate that, J&B's mom. You are awesome. You guys, I'm just tickled pink because these things help me buy things for the channel, and it pays for things that I can show you, like this ball winder. So, yeah, thanks for that. And thanks to my son for turning that on, because I never had it turned on. I never even considered turning it on because I just, I was just like, oh, why would people want to give me a super thanks? Or I don't know. And my son's like, Mom, don't be that way. Turn that feature on. If people want to do it, they'll do it. And if they don't, they don't. And I'm like, yeah, I guess he's right. So I said, okay. But anyway, I appreciate it very much. And I just want to let you guys know I appreciate each and every one of you because you watch my videos. And that is the biggest thing, is watching my videos and making sure you're subscribed. YouTube told me not too long ago in my analytics that it was crazy. It was like 80-something% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel. I nearly fell out of my chair. I was like, wow, that seems like such a big number. But, there it was. So I'm guessing I have to believe it, right? But anyway, if you're not subscribed, I'd be tickled pink if you would. Trust me, I would be tickled pink. And if you are subscribed, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a part of my little YouTube family. Because you guys know I love each and every one of you. And I appreciate you all so much. And with that said, be kind and be safe out there in the world, no matter where you are. And I'll see you all soon, okay? Thanks, everybody. Bye. Mwah. It's not turning off again.